everybody, and greetings. It is me, your songwriting partner, your co-producer, and as always, your friend, Joe Seeby. And happy Thursday, everybody. And as you all know by this time, Thursday is our series of class that we call Picture This. Picture This is when I give you an image, a photograph, and your job is to write a chorus based on that image that I've given you. We've been successfully doing this for years. It really helps because it's like a springboard to ideas. You know, instead of staring at a blank piece of paper for, an hour or two, now there's a basis, something to start with. A lot of times some of the hardest thing is coming up with a storyline when you're writing a song. And this is a good jumping, a place to jump from, right from here, to have an idea already rather than, like I said, staring at a blank piece of paper for 2 hours going, what am I going to write about? I love doing this because it forces you to have to really look at the photograph and kind of imagine dialogue around it, when there is none. And, a lot of times what I'll do is, when I know that, my, Picture This day is coming up, I'll start to look at images on my screensaver. I'll just go through Google Images and just look at different images, and it'll give me ideas. And the ones that really stick out of all the ones I look at, they're the ones that are the most thought-provoking for me. I don't know about for you, but for me, the ones I pick, that really stand out, that's the ones I go with, because they give me a lot of insight into, start something to write, myself. So, another good thing about this is, there's so many influences around us, whether it be pictures, or it can be a movie, or another song can do it. Everything around us, whether we even realize it or not, is an influence, whether it's subliminal or it's conscious. And a lot of times when we do this Picture This class, we've been doing it for years, even when we were still at the studio in person. And what I loved about it was every single person in that room interpreted that picture in their own unique way. So nobody wrote the same thing, not even close. And, and I say this every week and I'll continue to say it, there is no wrong way to do this exercise. I would love you to write something that pertains to the actual photograph, but more important than that, it's important that it just becomes a springboard to start your creativity. And that picture might mean something totally different to you than it does to me. If there's a picture of a flower garden, it might remind you of the garden you had in your backyard when you were a little kid. And, so you write about something in your, childhood. So it might not have anything to do with the actual picture, but the picture started you off on a thinking process about your youth. It's just a springboard. It's not the law. But the only rules that apply here is, of course, it's a song, so it's got to rhyme. Songs rhyme, choruses, especially a chorus. A chorus, for those of you who don't know, a chorus is the hook. It's the centerpiece of every song. It's the part that everybody sings along to. So that's what you're going to try to write, because, and a chorus has got to be catchy and concise. And the other thing is, of course, like I said, it's got to rhyme, it's got to tell a story, and it's got to make sense. What I mean by that is, it's got to be universally understood by the reader, or the listener in this case. They have to understand what your message is. It can't be something that's like, between two friends, it's an inside thing. It's got to be understood by many people who listen to it. And, and like I said, you're the ruler of this universe. This is your universe. So you write whatever you feel in this universe. This isn't mine. I'm going to show you what mine is later. But right now, whatever you see in this photograph is what you need to write about. Or it begins your process for thinking about it. The other thing I want you to do, and this is, and I say this every week too, and this is just a great way to go about it. I want you, when you look at the photograph, once I show it to you, I want you to stare into that photograph. And the beauty about YouTube is you can pause this video when it's up. So when I show you the picture, hit pause, and then you can look at it to your heart's content. You can look at it all day if you keep it up in your room and you do a couple things. But what I want you to do is I want you to sit down in front of your screen, and I want you to stare at that picture until you dissolve into a daydream. You know what I mean? Have you ever stared intensely at something and pretty soon you're not even here anymore? You're in here and you're in a daydream. That's what I want you to do with these pictures. And then when you come back to reality and you realize you're sitting at a desk, I want you to take your pen and paper, write everything down that you saw up here. And then I want you to write down everything that you physically see in the photograph. That's another important part. Write everything down, all the physical attributes in the photograph. The background, the foreground, what's in front, what's in the background. Don't leave any details out. Write a list, almost like an itemized list. Don't even worry about rhyming yet or any of that kind of stuff. Just take inventory in everything that's in the photograph. That's really important. And then the daydream part is another part that I want you to write down in as much as you can vividly. And then, only then, I want you to start thinking about how you can rhyme things. And you know what? It's okay to use rhyming dictionaries. You can look it up, Google rhyming dictionary. Even if there's a word that you want to rhyme with, type in your Google search engine, what rhymes with moon? You know, if it's a picture of the moon, you can say, what rhymes with moon? And it'll show you all the rhymes. And even near rhymes, you can say near rhymes, and it'll show you all the near rhymes. And it can even show you poems and songs that word is already in different songs, so you can see what other people used. And I don't want you to steal from that. I just mean you can look and see how people use that in a song, in a situation. So these are all of your resources for, writing. There's nothing wrong with using a rhyming dictionary. I use one every single day of my life. So it's okay to use it. There's nothing wrong with doing that. So just so you know, I want you to know that. All right, so without further ado, I've talked long enough. I am now going to show you the photograph in which inspired me tonight to create this whole line that I created. So without further ado, here's the photograph. Okay, so you saw the picture. It's two people on a beach, but you don't see the people. You just see their shadows, and you can tell they're together. And there's blue, beautiful crystal blue water with powdery white sandy beaches. To me, when I looked at it, now I'm going to give you my take on what I saw in this picture. So the picture to me reminded me of paradise. Paradise isn't a place as much as it is a mindset. And the physical attributes of the picture do lend itself to paradise. And also being with somebody that you love being with is also like paradise. And then if you're in a beautiful place with somebody that you love being with the most, that's even more like a paradise. So that's what I wrote it about. So in my mind, whether it's the girl or the guy, doesn't matter. The gender is non-specific. So this is what I wrote for this. Okay, so I'll read it to you now. You're the closest thing I'll ever get to paradise. And I know that we will never have to say goodbye. Still got me hypnotized when I look into your eyes. And after all this time, you still give me the butterflies. You're the closest thing I'll ever get to paradise. And I say again, you're the closest thing I'll ever get to paradise. So that is my take on that specific image. I have a melody for it too. You know, in the new year, I'm going to start showing more of the melodies that I created from these Picture This choruses that we've been writing. There'll be a new series of melody writing classes. So anyway, guys, there is a melody for this, and I really like it, and you will too once I, start to display these later on in future classes. But until then, guys, this is all the time that we have for tonight. This is your songwriting partner, your co-producer, and as always, your friend, Joe Sebi. I hope you love this picture, and I can't wait to see what you guys write for this, because you guys have been writing such great stuff. Week after week after week, you guys continue to amaze me. And keep up the good work. I'm really proud of all of you who contribute to this class. Anyway, guys, that is all the time that we have for tonight. Have a wonderful day. I love you guys, and we'll talk very soon. Peace.